Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I hope you're having a wonderful week of Thanksgiving. I know I am because my parents are in town. I haven't seen them in like 3 years, and no, it's not because we're estranged or anything. It's just because they live elsewhere in the country. I don't really get a chance to go on vacations. I'm always busy. They've just had a lot going on in their life, and we just haven't been able to see each other. So they're here in town. We're having a great time, and it's so wonderful to get to see them in person instead of just talking to them on the phone. But this has given me an opportunity to get to shoot and review a gun that I haven't actually laid eyes on in some time, because it's a gun that I gifted to my dad, and it's a gun that I bought, I don't know, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. It's a Smith & Wesson M&P M2.0 compact with the manual safety, and my dad liked it so much that I just gave it to him. I was like, Dad, you like this gun? You can have it. And I bought this originally because I really like the full size. I have one that's in flat dark earth. It was kind of part of my Guns of the XM17 program, trials program. And I really liked it. It's like, it'd really be cool to have a carry version of that. So I purchased this, and then my dad was in town, quite a few years ago. Said, oh my gosh, I love that. So I gave it to my dad. And he's back in town, so I'm going to get a chance to take this thing to the range. I don't think he's really shot it too much, and so I'm going to try to do a range report on this thing while he's here. So I was just out here putting some lube on it, cleaning it up, getting it all pretty and shiny, and so I guess that's kind of an upcoming projects video. And I still have some other guns on the chopping block from D, some rifles, and I have a firearm to get back to my friend Richard. I've just been so busy with family and things, and I know he has some other things for me to review. So I got a lot coming up on the channel, but that's what is happening here. And I also wanted to talk about some politics stuff. Oh, before I did, I wanted to thank, I guess, in kind of one of those rolling eyes way, because they probably made me spend more time and money. But that's a good thing. Not much, probably like $35. I did a video on that case, that rifle case, a couple days ago, and I was really happy. I was kind of like, proud like a peacock. I'm like, I know it's not perfect. I have this. And then a couple of my subscribers and viewers said, hey, that, pick and pluck foam that you did that case with, it looks good. But you know what you ought to do? You ought to do the plastic spray, what's it called? Plasti dip. And there's some videos online of people doing that and making that look really good. And it kind of makes the rest of the foam look really solid, and it solidifies it. So I went online and I watched those videos, and now I want to do that. But I've already glued that foam down to the other foam in the case and, mounted it in it. So I'm going to have to tear it all out and do it again. So I'm going to buy the new foam, and then I got to buy the Plasti dip. And I'm just a little bit frustrated because now I have to do it all again. I spent hours on that case. But then you guys said, hey, you need to check this out because it really enhances that pick and pluck foam. And oh my gosh, does it. So that's going to have to be another project. I'm not going to rush into it right now, but I'm probably going to... It's really going to cost like $35. I just got to spend like $25 again on the foam insert. And then I got to spend the time, picking and plucking it all out to make it right. And then I have to go buy that spray-on Plasti dip, which I guess is like $9 or $10. So $35 or whatever. And then just do it and take my time. But man, do those other people online make that look so good. So anyway, thanks. Everybody that said my case looked good, but then it was like, hey, you gotta try this out. Oh my God, that looks so much better. It's gonna function way better. So I wanted to thank you guys. Let's talk some politics tonight, okay? So I know this is like my garage gun talk, where I like to talk about everything, the upcoming projects, just kind of accessory stuff. But then I want to talk about politics because I am really excited and very happy. I don't know how much you guys actually follow the news of the gun world. I know that we all have those big gun channels that we watch and subscribe to, and they'll give us information. But I go to other sources like The Truth About Guns. I look at the kind of the news portions of like the GOA and the FPC and all that. And because not everything truly gets reported. But anyway, I have noticed in the past couple of weeks, I'd say really the past week, we have had a lot of victories. Some small, some are more like district court stuff, some are big injunctions. Some don't even really affect me, but affect my fellow gun owners in other states. Like I heard today that the Oregon purchase permit and the magazine capacity ban was overturned with a permanent injunction. So, of course, it's probably going to get appealed to the next level, but it's a big win. Of course, we know right now there's a thing about the FRT triggers where the ATF, I guess, can't enforce that rule. We got the ATF pistol brace injunction. The Supreme Court has taken up, I guess they just heard the Rahimi case, which deals with prohibited persons. They've taken on the bump stock case, which it looks good. I mean, we're getting a lot of wins really, really fast in a very small amount of time, which is fantastic. I am so excited about this because maybe I'm wrong on some of this. You guys know I'm a Debbie Downer a lot, but right now, man, the momentum is on our side. None of this stuff is set in stone. All this stuff is going to be appealed. We got to wait on rulings, all that kind of stuff. So it's not like go out right now and celebrate, but the momentum's on our side. But do you guys remember, and of course here's the Debbie Downer stuff, do you guys remember after the Bruin decision in the Supreme Court where they talked about, changing the rules when it comes to adjudicating cases, having to have historical precedent, and they would say a few things about, like places you can carry, and of course these lower courts and politicians in states are always going to try to defy the Supreme Court. They're going to throw their little temper tantrums and their hissy fits. And they'll take small words from these rulings and try to apply it to gigantic and big, broad things. Like one of the things was, we do have a history of banning firearms from sensitive places. So what do states like New York do or New Jersey do? They make literally almost the entire state a sensitive place and go, see, we're not infringing upon your rights. Because they have to throw this big temper tantrum hissy fit. And I guess the ATF's doing everything they can. I heard today that they have banned or are trying to ban, was it like flashbangs and smoke grenades or something like that? Something that doesn't really affect a lot of us, but it's just one of those things where they're just trying to add more stuff. But I'm expecting with all of these wins in these states, in these courts, even if they're not permanent right now, get ready because the pendulum always swings in the other direction. That's the thing about politics. I like it when politics is very much in the center, even though I might have very, my political opinions, which very much are libertarian and might swing very much in one direction. I don't like the political landscape to swing that far because there's always a reaction. And then once something happens, the pendulum goes back in the other direction. And then once that gets out of control, it comes back in our direction and so forth. And eventually it topples the whole system. You want that stability. And so right now we're getting a lot of wins, but I'm worried about the temper tantrums and the hissy fits that the anti-gunners, the anti-gun politicians, the blue states, the usual suspects are going to throw in response to this, because we can have these massive wins and they're going to take all these rulings and say, find wording or trying to be sly and clever and say, see, we're following the rulings. And they're still trying to literally ban every gun. Like the Supreme Court can say, gun bans are unconstitutional, but then they would have to say, okay, well, in the past we have banned machine guns or regulated machine guns. And then the lower states would say something like, every gun, like this pistol here, it's like a machine gun. We can ban it, so every gun's banned. It's just like, no. That's not the spirit of the ruling. But we always have to deal with crap like that. So my fear is, like, in the early part of this year, with politicians having to run for re-election next November and the primaries going on, all these wins, which I think are actually happening at a good time because it gives us all a year to think about it and for nothing really to happen. Because every time something pro-gun happens, they're like, blood's going to run in the streets, but it never does. But if that happens at close to election time, you have that reaction of people going out and voting saying, we have to ban guns, we have to regulate guns. But I'm expecting a lot of anti-gun politicians in January to come back after the Christmas break and be like, well, the pro-gun side had all these wins. It's time to pass more and more and more and more anti-gun legislation, which will, of course, be signed into law by those blue governors. But then guess what that means for us? We might have had all these wins, but now we go right back to the drawing board, go right back to step one, and we got to fight all these new gun laws in the courts, and we got to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. But hopefully that's, not going to happen too much. But anyway, it could. But right now, man, we are winning, and I am very upbeat, and I'm very, very positive. I'm really excited because I finally think the tide might be turning on our side. Now, I know, I'm typically a Debbie Downer, but right now, I'm going to move my doomsday meter. Maybe I should have a little doomsday clock here on the Texas Gun Vault too, because everyone says I'm like the biggest. Oh man, there's a fly in here. I'm like the biggest Debbie Downer when it comes to the future of the Second Amendment. You know how like there's the atomic doomsday clock that's like 5 minutes from midnight and all that? I should have like my own clock. And lately, honestly, it's been about 2 minutes to 1 minute to midnight. Like it's getting pretty bad because the courts aren't doing anything. The Supreme Court's not doing anything. Blue states are passing more and more stuff. You have the ATF doing all these big overreaches. So I thought we were getting kind of close. But right now, I really feel like the momentum is on our side. And I kind of feel like that little, minute hand is going to come back a couple clicks. I'm going to say we're like 4 minutes to midnight now instead of 2 minutes to midnight. Like things are looking up a little bit. We're not out of the woods, but anyway, that's what I think's going on. What do you guys think and what are you guys feeling when it comes to all these wins? Because right now, I really feel like we're winning a whole bunch. I mean, we got the 80% frame stuff. We got the bump stock stuff. We got the FRT stuff. We got the pistol brace stuff going on. Wow. Just wow. It just feels good, I feel positive. But, the pendulum always swings back in the other direction. But right now, 4 minutes to midnight. As I said, I got to create like one of those a Second Amendment doomsday clock. And then I can adjust the hands on how I feel and what's going on in the news. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about, a little upcoming project. And I'm also currently working on the guns of my carry rotation in my range reports. I just finished the range report on the B&T SPC-10 and the field strip. My Patreons are seeing those now. Then I wanted to thank you all for making me feel bad when it comes to my case, because now I know what I really need to do with that plasti dip. So you guys inspire me and teach me hopefully as much as I teach you. And I love that. I love learning and I love getting other people's perspectives and ideas. Because man, that plasti dip stuff on that foam looks fantastic in those videos. And so I've already done the case to a point that I can't fix it. So I have to start from square one. But you guys made me do that. But that's good. That's fine. Keeps me busy. So anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. Maybe not the most exciting video in the world, but I enjoy making these and coming to you and just, talking like an average gun guy around the water cooler. So let me know what's on your mind tonight. And if you want to talk about any of these things I mentioned, let me know in the comment section below. So if you made it to the end of my video, what word can we use tonight? Well, since I am thinking about doing a range report this week on this M&P M2.09 compact, say the word compact. Compact is the word of the day. Kind of like those old... what was Paul Rubens' character? Pee Wee Herman. You know how like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse, he used to have the word of the day. Today's word of the day is compact. So anyway, let me know about that in the comment section, and hope you guys are having a wonderful week. So, as always, thanks for watching.